voted for.
I love this for you. I love this. Nice. I love this for you. I love to see you fail. I love to see your family be affected and hurt because you voted for Trump. Yeah, I voted for Trump. Absolutely. Did I know he was going to increase the tariffs? Yes, I did. However, I thought that the infrastructure would be set up prior for small business to come back to America and manufacture in America. So to wish ill on someone and to love the fact that they're suffering, to love the fact that their family is being negatively affected because I didn't vote the same way that you did is fucked up. It really is. It shouldn't matter. Anyone that enters my life, I'm going to judge you of who you are, how you are as a human being. Are you kind? Are you polite? Are you sincere? That's how I judge you, not who you voted for.
Okay, sorry you had to watch that manufactured victimhood. When people say they love that for you, buddy, what they're saying is you got exactly what you voted for. You got everything that you wished for. And don't give me this bullshit of I judge people based on how kind and polite they are, not on who they vote for. You voted for a man who is sending innocent people to a torture prison in El Salvador. You voted for a man who is cutting off humanitarian aid that we now know will cause the deaths of millions of children around the world. You voted for a man who was going to fire tens of thousands of our veterans and cut off their veterans' benefits. You voted for a man who wants to take away health care from disabled children. You voted for a man who is ending cancer, Alzheimer's, and stroke research. So you're goddamn right we're going to judge you based on who you voted for. You aren't a kind person if you voted for all of that. And you're still saying you think the tariffs are a good thing. It's just that you never thought they would impact you. You never thought you would be hurt because you are a wealthy white male business owner. You wanted suffering for people who didn't look like you. But what you're getting is the logical consequence of voting for a deranged, narcissistic fascist. And that is why people in your comments are saying, love that for you. Because you are getting the full realization of everything that you voted for. You aren't suffering, you're being inconvenienced. You aren't going to make as much money. The people who are suffering under Trump are the 40% of America's pregnant women who are going to lose access to their health care, are the 47 million Americans who struggle with food insecurity. In my state alone, Oregon, we're not only going to have Medicaid cuts, we're also looking at a loss of $500 million in food bank funding. People are literally going to starve. People are going to die from a lack of access to medical care. You are just having to spend a little bit more money. Your profit margin is shrinking. Do not conflate that with the very real suffering that this regime is rolling out. This regime that you voted for. The folks in your comments know what's up. Let me fix this for you. I thought the bad things wouldn't happen to me. He was cool with it when people were being fired, hundreds of thousands of federal workers, when hundreds of thousands of immigrants were being detained and deported. Then you were cool with it. But the minute your profit margin is being impacted, suddenly you're whining on social media. You got exactly what you voted for. And yet you are still defending Trump. You are still a Trumper. You are still saying you hope that all of his policies play out and turn out as well as he hopes they will. That in the end of it, you still end up ahead. This is why people are ratioing you so hard in your comments. It's not, oh shit, you know what? I regret my vote for Trump. I realize now that it has hit me personally, I realize how bad this is for everybody. My eyes are open. The scales are falling from my eyes. I am realizing that I voted selfishly. I was hoodwinked. I believed the lies of Donald Trump. And now I am realizing how devastating his policies are and that he's dismantling democracy. Nope, you didn't say any of that. If you had said that, I think you would have gotten a lot more sympathy and people would have said, come on board, fight to stop this. Demonstrate with changed behavior that you realize now that you made a mistake and you are going to work to fix it. But that's not what you're doing. You're whining about the fact that you are losing money, but that you're not sorry that you voted for Trump. And you're not sorry about his policies. You still think the tariffs are a good thing. You just want to find a workaround so that they don't hurt you personally as bad. This is what I mean when I talk about toxic individualism and what a scourge it is in America. Because it's all about you and your profit and your comfort, not about what is happening to your neighbors. You're okay with their suffering as long as you get ahead, as long as you are insulated from the impacts of what this regime is doing. What a terribly stunted and sad way to live. I don't want fuck around and find out to result in anybody's suffering. Truly, I don't. But wealthy, privileged, insulated white men, business owners, having their profit margins reduced, feeling the pinch, feeling the natural consequences of their actions, I've got no problem here.
Good afternoon. I have a fuck around and find out story. I've been waiting for one that I personally is connected to me, and I finally found one today. I'm looking at myself. I have a couple of scratches here. I was playing and it's not important. Anyhow, so I have a former friend. She and her husband, huge MAGA people. And we have some mutual friends that my friends are still talk to her a little bit. And I find out today that she retired a couple of years ago and made a huge profit off of selling her house, like $600,000. And she, her husband, and her profit money go to Salt Lake City, where they are going to build a custom home. Now, according to my friend, this custom home is supposed to be like over the top, 10,000 square feet, Jordanian marble, you know, a Trump identity type of thing. And so they buy the land, they hire a contractor, they do everything, and they start to build the house. My friend and her husband are living in a fifth wheel on the property. Well, because of tariffs, the price of building material goes up, and so the contractor goes to them and said, you know, we're going to have to, you know, building materials are costing more, we're going to have to charge you more. And my friend and her husband fork over more money from the profit of their home. But as these tariffs continue and they're in, they're out, they're up, they're down, the contractor is not messing around anymore. And he says, I need to, we're going to just leave the price of this open. And whatever it ends up being, you know, we're going to put a percentage on there for me. And, but I can't, I am, the building materials supply is risky. And so my friend and her husband go to the bank to secure a loan to make sure that they can pay whatever it's going to be. Well, come to find out that my friend's husband has put all of the profit money that they didn't already use into Trump cryptocurrency. And he has lost all of it. Now, I don't know if the cryptocurrency is up and down. I don't know too much about it. But whenever it was down, he lost all of it. My friend said that my ex-friend had $4,000 to her name. And she has had to go back to work. But she doesn't have a teaching license in Utah. And so she can't teach. She can't even substitute teach. And so she got a job at like Home Depot, where she's watering plants in their garden, and she's making like $12.50 an hour. I don't want to laugh outwardly. I did when I was talking to my friend who's telling me this story. I kind of want to send my ex-friend a ha-ha emoji, but I wasn't until I found out that she was watering flowers, and I think I must. I don't know. I'm debating about it, but oh my goodness.
And today we have an example of fuck around and find out on a micro level instead of a macro level. There is a notorious Trump supporter that lives in my apartment building, and I have never been a fan, but I have always ignored him. I've heard all kinds of stories of some of the things that he has said to some of the other residents in the building, particularly women. And one of my neighbors has repeatedly asked me to walk her home because she has to go past this guy's porch. His deck, his outside patio. And he'll say things to her. So she's like, can you just walk me home? Just walk me to my door so I can get past this guy's patio so he won't talk to me. So he's already established himself as a menace. He was walking around with his MAGA hat all summer long. Not a fan. He's largely left me alone because I'm giving him the chilliest fuck you vibes that I can muster. Today I'm outside walking my dog, and as luck would have it, He is approaching us on the path. We're going in opposite directions, so we're about to pass each other. So I am, ironically, playing Defying Gravity on my phone, having just seen Wicked last night. Just listening to my music, walking my dog, minding my business. Just about to pass this guy. And he says, "Hi there." And I just keep walking, totally ignore him. And he didn't like that. So he decides to follow it up with, "What's the matter? You don't like me?" Listen, sir, we were coexisting. I was being civil in the face of all the comments that you have made about the women that live in this building, in the face of my friend and neighbor asking me to escort her home past you so that you would not harass her. I have shown great restraint in not saying anything to you up until today. So you're going to fuck around? Now you're going to find out. So he says, "What's the matter? You don't like me?" And I stopped. I made strong, cold eye contact. And I said, "I am not interested in getting to know you because from everything that I have seen and heard, I am certain that I would not like you." And then I cranked Defying Gravity and I walked away. I didn't stick around to give him a chance to reply. I'm not interested in a conversation. A few years ago, I would have played the game, right? The game that all women know. Oh, I would have laughed and smiled and said something stupid or silly to diffuse the situation, to massage this guy's ego, to placate him. "Oh, no, I was just, I'm tired or I'm busy or, of course I like you. Why wouldn't I? Oh, you have such a cute dog." Some bullshit. But I'm not playing by the patriarchal rules anymore. I'm done. Fuck it. In the words of Cynthia Erivo, something has changed within me. You fuck around, now you're gonna find out.
Well, looks like Miami has entered the find out phase. So it's being reported, and I read an article in the Tallahassee Democrat that Miami-Dade County is going to be ground zero for the orange.
You have papers in the United States?
Have my ID, driver's license.
Okay, but you have any type of paperwork identifying yourself in the United States?
That's what I have.
Right. So, ¿de dónde eres, señor?
I'm from Guatemala.
You're from Guatemala?
Yes.
¿Tiene papeles to be in the Estado Unidos, sí or no?
That's what I have.
What type of papeles, señor?
I have my driver's license and my ID.
Sí o legal?
That's what I have.
Come on, señor. Vamos, let's go. Step up. No, step up.
Come on. Can
No,
I pull
señor.
up?
Señor, vamos. Vamos.
Can
Vamos, step up. No,
can
vamos.
I pull up?
No, vamos, señor. Señor, get up. Vamos, señor. Sí o legal, sí?
What about my wallet?
Now they have this man under arrest. How long have you been in the United States for? ¿Cuánto tiempo lleva aquí en los Estados Unidos?
About
We got one arrest. Y'all following the van?
I read it to not speak.
¿Qué está pensando en este momento?
My glasses. About my glasses.
That's what worries you most?
Yes. Because I wear contact glasses.
Are you worried about being deported now?
I right to remain silent.
You do have the right to remain silent.
You're here illegally right now, ¿verdad?
I have a driver's license.
No.
ID.
Right, but the driver's license doesn't give you any status here in the United States.
So he did have a driver's license, however, that does not give you legal status here inside the United States. So why did you detain him, and why did you make the arrest on him? Because you were asking for his papers. He said, "I had my ID, driver license." What does that? What does that mean?
So he became targeted. We was doing research in regards to our database, targeted information. So Abraham, he was driving a vehicle. So we did our checks. In regard to our checks, we found out that he was legal in the country. We run our databases. He had certain benefits going on, but that didn't preclude him from removal.
Even if you do have a driver license, that does not make you legal here?
No, not at all. So my approach, I approached the driver door. I wanted to see if he was going to admit to him being illegally here in the country. So I asked him if he had any type of paperwork in the country. He provided me a state license, and that state license does not allow him to have legal status inside the United States.
Ma'am, turn around for me, hands on top of your head.
I didn't do anything, please.
Just keep calm, quick pat down, that's all.
Fijo.
Stay with me, buddy, it's okay. Step up, watch your head, take a seat on the right. Door coming.
Help! Somebody help me, please.
Ma'am, calm down, we're gonna walk this way.
I didn't do anything. Please don't take me.
Keep moving, watch your step.
This is Trump's America. ICE agents arrested both of the parents of a U.S. Marine and deported his father despite the fact they had green cards pending and were in the country legally. ICE agents first arrested this Marine's parents at Camp Pendleton before releasing them with ankle monitors and telling them to check back in later. When they checked back in, ICE detained them again, and on Friday his father was deported. Steve said that he enlisted because of his parents. He said they came to the U.S. from Mexico more than 30 years ago and have washed cars and cleaned houses from sunup to sundown for his whole life. He said, "It was just about making them proud. I've seen all the struggles they've gone through. The least I could do was to serve this country and try to, put some time in." Steve and his parents were heading to pick up his younger sister, Ashley, and her husband, who's also a Marine, at Camp Pendleton on September 28th. They've done that every weekend for the past few months because she's expecting her first child. But Steve said this last time they were stopped at the gate, then ICE agents showed up detaining both of his parents. Their family says they have no criminal history as well as pending green card applications sponsored by Steve and work visas as they wait for approval, so they were here legally. Friday morning, he talked to his dad on the phone, who said they were being held in the basement of a federal building that houses ICE and Immigration Court. When asked why this couple was detained, a spokesman for ICE said this: "As part of its routine operations, ICE arrests aliens who commit crimes and other individuals who have violated our nation's immigration laws. All aliens in violation of U.S. immigration law may be subject to arrest, detention, and, if found removable by final order, removed from the United States regardless of nationality." But of course we know they're lying, because both of these parents were here legally on work visas as they were waiting for their green cards to get approved.
Very, very serious, devastating news here in the U.S. In Newark, New Jersey. The mayor just put out a statement confirming that an ICE raid took place in that city earlier today, and a U.S. citizen, a military member, was accidentally arrested. This is happening because on day one, Trump signed an executive order declaring that federal immigration employees can arrest people at sensitive locations. Pause to read. The mayor has said that Newark will not stand by idly while people are terrorized. This is week one in Trump's America. Please feel free to follow me if you aren't already. I'm on here and multiple other platforms as well. The link is in my bio.
What up, guys? Another crazy deportation took place in California. Check the video below. It's insane. Apparently, the owner of this place opened the doors for ICE in the middle of the day.
¡La migra! ¡Corra! ¡Corra!
This is a second-hand stuff market.
Ir a los pobres cuates, mano, arriba de los baños. No
Most of
mames, ya
the
agarraron
people
al
know this
güero.
place as El Pulguero. You can basically find stuff,
Ya agarraron a
very
uno, qué
cheap,
ojete.
clothes, electronics.
¡Corre, corre, brother!
Most of the stuff is used.
¡Ey, ey, ey! ¡Relax! ¡Ey!
Do you think ICE is actually deporting criminals
Agarraron
at
una
this
señora que me
place?
acababa de decir a mí.
Do you support
No
ICE in
mames.
these deportations across the country? Hey, let me know what you think in the comments below.
¡Ey, man!
As I sold the last bag.
Over your head. Over your head. All right, okay. On this road. I'm not fed. I'm not resisting. You're not resisting. And I got bad shoulder.
Hands out your pockets for me, sir.
Guys, I can tell you right now, all those ICE raids that's going on
over in Los Angeles is not good. And I'm going to tell you why it's not good. Because what we are watching on national television unfold right before our very eyes with the military. Now, as of today, Tuesday, June 10th, they called in the National Guards on top of 500 to 700 Marines on the ground. Not to mention the 2,000 troops that was deployed there Sunday, on top of the helicopter bringing in multiple additional weapons with more ammunition. Windows being broken out of cars, windows being smashed, police officers being, drummed to the ground, people being boom, boom, drummed to the ground. You guys think that this is bad, guys? This is actually about to take place in other places like Texas. Right now, there are protests going on in Texas. Right now, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there are protests going on in Texas.
Native American was just arrested and ICE tried to deport her. What? That's right, Leticia Jacobo is a 24-year-old and was born in Phoenix. She is also a Native American who is a member of Arizona's Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. When this 24-year-old's mother, Erica Burns, went to the jail to pick up her daughter after she was arrested for allegedly driving with a suspended license, the jail told her no, they were unable to release her because ICE was on the way. This was understandably shocking news, and Erica didn't know what to say. Why was ICE coming to pick up her daughter? To deport her. A Native American, who she asked the Polk County Jail, how can they be deporting my 24-year-old daughter whenever she is a Native American? Polk County's response was, we aren't deporting her, we're just holding her because ICE is coming to pick her up. This mother being very aware of what ICE coming to pick up her daughter meant, and her daughter not having a country they could possibly deport her to because her ancestors have been in the United States for thousands of years, started making phone calls. Her entire family went to overdrive. They started calling officials. They even showed up with her birth certificate to prove that she was a legal citizen in the United States and proof that she is a Native American. Even with all of this information, there was no immediate release. In fact, ICE did show up, and tribal members, tribal officials were even speaking out demanding her release, and it still took them until 4 o'clock the next morning for them to finally release her. And what was ICE's response when tribal communities demanded an apology from them? They did not apologize. They simply said that it was a clerical error. Lieutenant Mark Chance from Polk County Sheriff's Office has simply brushed this whole thing off, saying that it was a human error. That the detainer placed on the 24-year-old Native American was simply meant for someone else at the jail. Also shared in his statement that we will be having some meetings about this. This is silly. But the Native American community and the rest of the country are saying this is far from silly. Someone who was not only born and raised in America, but is a Native American herself, was also faced with deportation. What people are assuming is because of the color of her skin.
Breaking news. ICE is now arresting immigrants at their green card interviews. Just a few days ago, over 4 couples were arrested within an hour, all at the San Diego district office. Why? They had prior visa overstay. Because ICE cannot meet their quota of arrests, going after criminals and serious offenders, and not going after all immigrants. If you had any previous immigration issues like visa overstay, you came on a tourist visa, then you change your status, almost any reason can now trigger an arrest at a marriage green card interview. Now, this is crazy because these people are doing the right thing, coming forward, trying to legalize themselves. Right there before their attorneys, they're being picked up and being detained by ICE. So right now, you got to be careful. If you have any overstays in your background, you're going for a green card interview, be prepared, you might be detained. So prepare in advance, speak with your attorney, and if you're detained, there are ways to get you out on bond. Stay safe.
I'm going to say this one fucking time. My last post got a lot of backlash, and it was about illegal immigrants being detained in New Orleans and ICE agents running down on them. I said what the fuck I said, and I meant what the fuck I said. Are you going to get your stupid lazy asses out there and you going to do roofing jobs? Are you going to do construction? You going to clean the hotels? You going to get you a lawn service? You wouldn't last 5 fucking minutes on a goddamn roof in 100-degree weather. You would not. Are you going to rebuild the homes after disasters? You're not. Saying that the people that are being detained voted against their own interests is incorrect. So if you're going to get on here and try to be combative, at least know what the fuck you're talking about. They could not vote. Therefore, they did not vote against their own interest. Be specific. I have no issue talking about the Cubans in Miami that voted against their own interests. I've always said that. Go back on my posts. But do not generalize every Latino. Don't fucking do that unless you're going to get out there and do the goddamn work. They're not the fucking criminals of New Orleans. The fucking criminals of New Orleans, they're overlooking. The crime is fucking insane, and it's not the Latinos. They work. Now run your stupid asses along and toodle fucking loo.
The Trump administration's clash with a very popular pop star, that's why they call them pop stars, Olivia Rodrigo. I'm going to show you a video without sound that the Trump administration's ICE originally put online with one of her songs. You'll be able to see this video here. And they say if ICE finds you, and it's sort of menacing, then they talk about self-deporting. This video initially included her music without her authorization or consent. That's unlawful under copyright law. And it also invited a response from this pop star with tens of millions of followers. She told the Trump administration, quote, "Don't ever use my songs to promote your racist, hateful propaganda." In the song that they apparently misused, she also says, "I pay attention to things most people don't." Now, clearly, the young star is paying attention to politics right now, to government, to what this administration is doing, and she views it as racist. That is her clapback, one that apparently they didn't expect when they first misused her music. And we can report that some versions of this have been pulled down by the Trump administration since her response.
We have some major breaking news right now. We're now learning additional cities where Donald Trump intends on conducting mass deportations. It's not just Chicago. Before I continue, if you don't follow me yet on Instagram, Substack, and YouTube, they're all linked in my bio. If TikTok goes away, that's where I'll be. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump's team is preparing plans for mass deportations in Boston, Washington, D.C., Miami, New York City, Denver, and San Antonio. These raids are scheduled to begin as soon as Tuesday. Now, the scale of the raids and the influx of ICE and CBP agents, however, is still in flux right now. Right now, the federal government simply does not have enough manpower to do what Donald Trump is trying to do. And the Pope has actually called out Donald Trump, saying that his mass deportation plan would be, quote, a calamity. But it's not going to stop him. It's going to start this week, and people in these metropolitan cities need to be aware that the raids are going to begin on businesses, on public areas, and more. And a national emergency will be declared shortly thereafter tomorrow. Comment below your thoughts, spread the word, and follow along to stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
The funniest thing is I get YT people on my timeline and in my comments saying that black people need to be deported and we're next. The whole time under Trump's deportation order, ICE has picked up a 79-year-old German man. He was born to Polish parents and entered this country legally after World War II when his parents were staying in a German refugee camp. Now, this 79-year-old German man is being detained at Alligator Alcatraz in the Everglades. So for everybody that said Alligator Alcatraz was a made-up place, no, it's actually very factual, and there are people detained there while this man and his family are fighting for him to stay in America, even though there was a deportation order put on him literally decades ago. And now I'm not glorifying this, but when y'all think that y'all people are just getting missed in this deportation because the color of your skin, like I keep telling you, the man doesn't care about skin color. He cares about the money. Cha-ching.
Yes, I got deported.
Uh-oh, here we go.
After 20 plus years and 97+% of my life in the United States.
Oh, this is about to be some shit.
ICE agents picked me up in Chicago and threw me in jail for 3 weeks because my parents did not file my paperwork correctly.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
They brought me to the United States on a visa, overstayed that visa, had opportunities to appeal it in court, and my father did not show up to court.
Ooh, daddy.
Now I'm in the United Kingdom, and this country sucks. And it has made me more America first.
Oh, you didn't think he was gonna say that shit, did you?
Because you see that outside of London, all of England is a third world country, a dump. I hate it here.
But yet folks out here hating on America.
And I am excited and ready to go back to the United States, but I have a 10-year ban to wait out.
This man said he has to wait 10 years.
I'm waiting to bring my fiance over because I had a wedding scheduled that I had to cancel.
Oh no, man. Oh no, man.
And it's taken everything in me to forgive my parents for what they've done to me and what they've caused. But I'll keep going on.
Notice how he blamed his parents and not Trump? The guy who's in it. But there's plenty of folks out here that would go, oh, Trump, you voted for that. That's what you voted for. No. His parents did not do the responsible thing and the stuff that they were supposed to do to make sure that their family became citizens in the country in which they wanted to reside. Period. Trump, go get this dude, man. Do whatever you need to do to magically wand go get this guy. That is probably the most mature response in that situation that I don't think I could even do. Because I'm blaming everybody.
Everybody on the ground now, move!
We need to make propaganda illegal again. John Jackson here on the X platform posts, "This is so painful to see. A veteran and Purple Heart recipient was deported. If you're willing to serve, especially in combat, that should be an automatic green card at the very least, no questions asked." And I want you to pay special close attention to the Denver7.com article that he even included in his post. So my curiosity, got the best of me, and I clicked on the article, and here's what it read. Yikes. Okay, so here's the Purple Heart recipient. His name is Jose Barco. Let's see how he has been behaving. Now, this ICE custody case and his immigration case had made major headlines because he received that Purple Heart in the military, but he also has a criminal conviction related to a shooting in southern Colorado. He was given a final order of removal, but look, do you see this? Conviction related to a shooting. His final order of removal in February was after being arrested at the Colorado State Penitentiary. He had been serving a sentence for attempted murder and a whole bunch of other stuff. Extreme indifference and felony menacing with real or simulated weapon. All of his appeals for relief were denied, and in late September, the court ordered his removal. So just because you serve in the United States military and receive a Purple Heart does not mean you can go out here and start shooting people willy-nilly. So this shooting occurred in 2008 when Obama was president. How did this man, an illegal immigrant, fight in our military at all? Just wondering. So enough with the bleeding hearts, people. Common sense. Common sense is everything. And that is why we need to make propaganda illegal again. President Trump needs to revisit the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012. Barack Obama literally ensured that Democrat propaganda became legal again. It really infuriates me. Get it done. Rename it the Charlie Kirk Act. The problem I have is when we have mainstream media outlets, politicians pushing fake news. So much so that look what happened to Charlie Kirk. And I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. Charlie Kirk did not speak hate speech. Charlie Kirk spoke speech that the left hates. And that...
ICE put it the person and they...
I'm back, bitches.
So someone tipped ICE agents that there were a lot of undocumented immigrants working on a roof of a house in Alabama. And they were right. There were about 8 undocumented immigrants working on the roof. When the ICE agents showed up, they apprehended about 7 of them, except one. The young man you see on top of the roof, he was from Guatemala, and he refused to come down to get arrested. In fact, he told the ICE agents, "You want to arrest me? Come get me." He positioned himself on the highest point of the roof of the house. And there, the ICE agents, "Come get me, bro." The agents surrounded the house and tried to negotiate with him. In fact, they threatened him. They said, if you don't come down, you're going to have additional charges. And he said, I'm going to take my chances. Finally, one of the agents got on a ladder, only to find out that he was not going to make it all the way to the top. And after 6 long hours of trying to negotiate with this young man, they decided to leave empty-handed. He wasn't carjacking a vehicle. He was not wheeling dealing on the streets. He was simply installing a roof on the house. This is what this administration would like you to think are the criminals that they're trying to get rid of. By the way, these ICE agents spent 6 hours trying to apprehend one undocumented immigrant. I just wonder how long it's going to take them to apprehend 13 million of them.
Hold on, P, man.
So someone tipped ICE agents that there were a lot of undocumented.
ICE is deporting American citizens. In Alabama, a man named Chanthilla Savannarath has been deported to Laos, a country he's never lived in, even though a federal judge blocked his removal and warned there would be inherent and obvious harm in deporting a U.S. citizen. Yeah, you don't say. Savannarath was born in a Thai refugee camp and has lived in the U.S. since he was a baby. His father became a naturalized citizen when Chanthilla was a child, which under immigration law should have made him a citizen too. But ICE kidnapped him in June and locked him in a new detention facility in Louisiana's Angola prison, one of the most notorious prisons in America. Then, despite the court order, they put him on a flight to Laos the next day. Homeland Security isn't apologizing. They're doubling down, saying there was no mistake. They called him a criminal illegal alien and said he was just trying a Hail Mary by claiming citizenship. Except there's one thing. Citizens can't be deported. That's the law.
La van a quitarla ya. Se la van a quitar ya. Pero no la van a quitar. Se la van a quitarla ya. Se la van a llevar. Se la van a quitar.
Good job, y'all.
Good job, guys. Taking another.